as the main goal of this event is to engage the youth in big agendas like Sustainable Development Goals and Agenda 2063. And there was different things that took place in this event, including panel discussion, questions, presentation, debates, and from the questions that the youth brought up, they were able to ask some questions, very crucial questions. For example, in creating the Africa we want, one of the biggest barriers that we have right now is language. So how can we overcome the language barrier in order to create our Africa we want? And there was an amazing answer for it. In order to create the Africa we want, the language barrier should be overcome through decision, through going out of our comfort zone and exploring the unexplored, going back to the things that we would love to do, because usually Africans, we're just so blocked in the city, and sometimes we have to go out from the city and explore, learn. As this 2024's Africa Union team is education or focuses on education, we can use educational system to learn language that will help us connect through Africa. And at the same time, I had a few words with one of the team that organized this event. Let me pass on to that and I'll get back to you.
My name is Dr. Kirubel Wogala. I am a full-time researcher and I am the Policy Advocacy Health Division Head of the Model African Union. It's a civil society organization I am currently enrolled in. The role of the youth in creating the Africa we want is immense, as the continent by itself is called the younger continent. Being part of this community gives you the upper hand to actually, provide the necessary amount of either intellectual investment or part in general in creating the Africa we want. How do we do it? Everybody got to play their role. Everyone has a specific role in what they engage in, but educational backed investment is the most important thing. Furthermore, the sense of unification, the sense of ownership of our continent needs to stay within our hearts forever to, really see the Africa we want in the near future. Today we're celebrating the International Youth Day under the theme that mainly revolves around technology. Today's event basically enables the younger generation of Africa to provide their words, to provide their ideas in regards to the level of knowledge our continent is equipped with in regards to technology, which is pretty much very vital in different sectors. It's divided into two committees, the UNHRC committee and the AU ECOSOC committee. Both committees will will debate about technological investment and involvement in the agriculture sector and securing food security. Furthermore, how AI and technological advancements impact, assuring the human rights within our world. So once again, it's the words of the youth, it's the words of the younger generation, and I believe every delegate, we have around 70 delegates at this point, so I believe every delegate has the capability to deliver and in the best way possible. So hopefully it turns out great, so hope you stay along within the 2 days, we will see. All right, so my Africa, this is probably one of the most common questions I get. My Africa, the Africa I need, wealthy Africa, a unified Africa, greener Africa, and Africa with justice. That's my Africa. So thank you. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure today to have here U.S. Department of State Undersecretary for Civilian Security, Democracy and Human Rights, Azra Zaya, also U.S. Ambassador to Ethiopia, Irvin Masinga, U.S. Mission to African Union Deputy Chief of Mission, Mikhail Cleverly, and U.S. Agency for International Development Ethiopia Mission Director, Scott Hochlander. Now it is my honor to welcome Undersecretary Zaya to not only Ethiopia, but also here to U.S. Embassy Addis Ababa to deliver remarks on U.S. partnerships in support of refugees and host communities. Welcome.
Thanks so much for that kind introduction, good afternoon or good evening, I'm not sure, depending on the time of day. But I want to say that I am grateful to be with all of you today in Addis Ababa after a robust visit to Kenya. Earlier today, I had productive and timely discussions with Foreign Minister Taye, Minister of Justice Gideon, and non-governmental partners on the rule of law, accountability, humanitarian cooperation, and the sanctity of human rights. The United States will continue engaging our government and civil society counterparts alike on the importance of upholding human rights protections for all Ethiopians, upholding inclusive, transparent, transitional justice, and upholding the unity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity of Ethiopia. Over the past 3 years, as U.S. Undersecretary of State for Civilian Security, Democracy, and Human Rights, I have made 7 trips to the African continent, including to Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea, Mauritania, Mozambique, Namibia, Nigeria, Senegal, the Gambia, in addition to Kenya and Ethiopia this week. Across all my visits, I've seen the strength and determination of extraordinary individuals, civil society leaders, young innovators, and visionaries in business and government, all working to create shared solutions to better the lives of others. Their efforts persist against a backdrop of unprecedented forced displacement in sub-Saharan Africa, where over 38 million people have been uprooted from their homes. Within this larger group, 30 million people are displaced within their own countries, while 8 million have sought refuge across borders. Ethiopia, a beacon of generosity, hosts over 1.8 million refugees. In the face of such profound need, African nations, upholding the principles outlined in the 1969 OAU Refugee Convention, show us how we can and should support our neighbors. But no nation or community is alone in meeting this challenge. That's why today I am proud to announce nearly $536 million in new humanitarian assistance from the United States. This funding will boost and bolster host communities and local efforts to support refugees and conflict-affected populations across the African continent, including nearly $97 million for humanitarian partners here in Ethiopia, of which $87 million will be focused on refugee needs. In collaboration with trusted humanitarian partners, we will assist those in desperate need in the Horn, the Sahel, Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, and those in other new emergency and protracted situations. Through coordination with host country governments and international partners, this assistance aims to create durable solutions to ease suffering, build resilience, and resolve the plight of displaced and other vulnerable persons. To date, the United States remains the largest single humanitarian donor, both globally and in Africa. This includes Sudan, where nearly 16 months of conflict have created the world's worst humanitarian crisis. The United States has provided more than $1 billion in humanitarian assistance to the people of Sudan since the conflict began. Our commitment to easing the suffering of displaced people is unwavering, and the infusion of aid that I announced today brings our total humanitarian assistance in sub-Saharan Africa to nearly $3.7 billion this year alone. But let's be clear, the needs far outstrip the resources available. That's why I'm here, and it's why the United States is ramping up engagement with governments around the globe to promote peace building, to stem forced displacement, and to develop enduring solutions for those who have already had to flee, be it through support for integration, voluntary returns, or in the most vulnerable cases, resettlement to third countries. The United States is profoundly grateful for the ongoing generosity of the people and government of Ethiopia and other neighboring countries. Their commitment at a community level to welcoming refugees, despite the many challenges, is a testament to their compassion, resilience, and partnership. Earlier today, I had the honor of visiting a local refugee center dedicated to providing children with safe spaces to play, access to mental health services, and pathways to education. Spaces like these demonstrate the vital role our U.S. humanitarian partners play in offering not just aid, but hope and resilience. In closing, to the generous host communities and our vital partners here in Ethiopia and across the continent and around the world, thank you for protecting the most vulnerable so that all can live in dignity.